one thing we will keep honoring this day for the years to come.
We really feel that this is the Pearl Harbor of today's generation, and we're honored to have the Port Authority here with the World Trade Center exhibit and doing this in their honor today.
This display is dedicated to all those who were lost on 9/11, not just police and firemen. It's dedicated to all. And if you come through our display, you'll see we have the list of names of everyone who was lost that day. It's also dedicated to all those lost or will be lost fighting terrorism. Sometimes we take for granted our freedom, and the only reason we're standing here today, as free as we are, is because of gentlemen like this that served their country, and for the boys and girls that are over there now. So let us not forget.
In a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts, the victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying in the buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger.
I think people are always going to think about it but try to brush it aside. But people need to be remembered by seeing this exhibit. It's very powerful.
An elderly couple, as I was leaving, the gentleman stopped and he put his hand on my forearm and he said, "Young man," he says, "I'd like to thank the fair for bringing this exhibit here." And he says, as I walk through there and I see the young children crying, he says, it gives me great hope for our young generation.
Once I started watching the news, just something that you could not pull yourself away from. Just the total destruction was just unbelievable.
We just sat there and it was real quiet. It was just real quiet. Nobody said anything. We just couldn't believe it. And then we watched the second plane hit, and yeah, it just got more quiet.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Allegan City Fire Chief, Joel Merchant. He'll be presenting the Freedom Quilt.
Take back to present it to a family of a fallen firefighter.
Thanks,
Yep.
Chief. Thank you.
A couple of gals from Allegan Quilting Club came up with a couple of quilts, a Freedom quilt along with a patriotic quilt that we'll present to the Port Authority figures to take back to New York. Oh yes, there's several things in the exhibit about the Port Authority workers who were lost that day, but also a lot of artifacts from Ground Zero.
8 years later, I know the New York City firefighters had a terrible time with communications. I don't know if it would have made any difference. Some of the ones in the second tower might have been able to, maybe they could have communicated with them to get out of the tower. They had total radio malfunction because of the amount of people that were trying to use the radios. I think the construction of the building had a big part in it. We just similarly faced a situation here 2-3 weeks ago where we had a thunderstorm go through here, and it was just northern Kent County, so we're only talking a half a dozen different departments out, and we had a terrible time with the radios, and our cell phones wouldn't work, and I know how frustrating it was for us at that point. I just can't imagine what those guys were going through.
We had one guy that one of our sergeants was good friends with some guys in New York, and he knew they were working that day. He even knew they were on duty. They worked Rescue 1 in New York, and yeah, they were killed that day too.
It was people quicker to shake your hand and pat you on the back. It was the way this country used to be and the way it should be now. The silver lining, yet that silver lining's faded. Unfortunately,
I think it's lost a little bit of importance to the people in the United States. There for weeks afterwards, you've seen everybody flying the American flag. You don't see that there much anymore.
Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten